These things are hot, yo. Where was I? I need the air conditioner. I'm gonna die. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about what the best social media platform for your business is. Have you ever looked at the myriad of things available to you and just gone, where do I start? Where am I supposed to be? Where do I put my business? Where do I put my personal brand? Well, today I'm going to answer that for you by going through the main platforms that we have and showing you the strengths of those platforms, because ultimately we're all different. If you're running a personal brand, there's a high chance that you don't have a team with you. So you're going to be doing a lot of the creative output, a lot of the scheduling, and really a lot of the content strategy for it. And if you're not a personal brand, maybe you do have a team. So maybe you have more capacity to be in more places. Maybe you have somebody in that creative department who can actually drive this type of media in your business. So for those of you who feel like you've been on social media a little while, or maybe you've just jumped on and you sort of feel like you're throwing mud at a wall just to see what sticks, this video is going to be perfect for you. Remember that when you go into any kind of endeavor like this, you really need to be playing to your strengths. Again, like I said, if you're a personal brand and you're doing this for yourself, you need to think about where your strengths lie. You need to think about the time that you have available that you can give towards this type of thing. And you need to figure out what's going to be the most efficient for you. And normally when we're in our comfort zone, normally when we're doing something that comes a little bit easier than something else, we're going to be faster at it, we're going to be better at it, and we're going to communicate at a better level with it. That being said, let's dive in and have a look at our main platforms. Okay, so the main ones we have are Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and YouTube. I'm going to group some of these together, as I'm sure you can imagine, but let's start with Facebook. So one of the reasons that I like Facebook is because it has the most robust ads platform around. And the reason for that is because it's simply been available to an audience longer. So we've been on it since about 2007-ish, and it's now 2020, 13 years capturing our data. So it's a really great platform to target your audience specifically if you're looking to run ads, if you're looking to sell a product. It's got great capabilities attached to it. That being said, when we look at Instagram, that's going to be something that we look at there too, because Instagram is owned by Facebook. The other thing that I like about Facebook is that you can pretty much put any type of content on the platform, and you're not really limited by the length of content. So you can live stream pretty much for as long as you want. You can write blog type copy and you can write as much of it as you want. There's really no restriction to the platform. I do know that there are character restrictions in the status text, but to fulfill that, you'd have to write a freaking novel. So Facebook is really good if you're figuring out even what you like. You're figuring out where your strengths lie. As we all know and have heard, the reach is limited on Facebook, and that's true. But if you're putting out good content will always be good content. And good content gets found, seen, shared, liked, commented on. It doesn't really matter what platform it is. Good content will still be good content. And one of the things that I also love about Facebook is the Insights functionality, which basically just tells you what's working and what isn't. I love that the Insights is available literally at the push of a button. I love that you can, at a visual glance, see that worked, that didn't, that got a ton of engagement, that didn't, and you can literally iterate on the spot because you can see that information. So I would say if you don't know where to start with Facebook. If you're still figuring out your style, if you're still figuring out what type of content you want to create, better still, if you already have an email list, start there, because like I said, you can put that into the ads platform and you can even run ads against it just to bring brand awareness to your page and to bring people to you. Now, there are ad experts out there that will tell you not to do things like that, don't pay for likes, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, if you need to get your brand in front of people and bring people to your page, then it's an affordable option if you've got a few dollars a day just to put behind your brand and get in front of people. Okay, the second platform I want to talk about is one of my personal favorites, and it's Instagram. And the reason that I love Instagram, apart from the ad platform that I mentioned before regarding Facebook, is that essentially Instagram is part art and part science. What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, if you can create great imagery, whether that's taking a photo, whether that's a video, whether that's drawing something, however you can visually represent it, if you can do great art, that's one piece of the puzzle. The second piece of the puzzle, maybe you're not so strong in the art, you can be strong in the SEO portion of it. You can literally SEO your photos, you can give them descriptors, you can write amazing captions, you can use hashtags to their full benefit, you can play to the algorithm strength. So right now that's Instagram TV, that's Facebook Lives, that's things of that nature. There are so many ways to get ahead on the Instagram platform, and they have given you so much functionality for you to get really good at creating content. The other thing I love about that platform is the stories. So it can actually teach you, if you are heading down the path of video and you're not confident or you're not sure, it teaches you how to get thoughts out clearly and concisely with the stories platform. It literally teaches you how to micro vlog. That is why I love Instagram. Instagram is such a great place to exercise your creativity without the stress of everything needs to be super perfect. You can always delete it from the feed if it doesn't work. But really, at the end of the day, the insights will just inform you as to whether or not you create that type of content again, because it tells you whether or not it worked, right? It's also particularly good if you're an e-com business because it has the shoppable functionality attached to it, so it makes it super easy for people to purchase from your store. And I kind of like the gamified system of Instagram where, you know, if you can hit that 10K, you get the swipe up feature. And although my 11 Lights Media account has not reached 10,000 followers, I manage a number of accounts where it has. And let me tell you, that feature is without a doubt my favorite thing on Instagram. It makes getting people to subscribe to things a lot easier, getting to read blogs a lot easier, simply getting to another destination. It just takes the barrier to entry away. And that is why I love it. So if you're feeling creative, if you're wanting to represent your brand visually, if you have a brand where either you are the central focus, like you have a personal brand, or you have a brand where, you know, it's goods based, so e-com essentially, or you have a brand that lends itself to visual elements such as graphic design or video or something like that, it's a really great platform for you to be on. All right, the next ones I want to talk about are Snapchat and TikTok. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. I want to say, first of all, I know it's really overwhelming when new platforms are introduced and they take off, because then all of a sudden there is this pressure to be on there. I would say this: if your target demographic is not teenagers, don't feel the need to be on there right now. The platforms age up really, really fast, and you do need to know that. So basically, every man and his dog will be on there in 12 months, if it's still around. That being said, if you're wanting to exercise your creative arm, you're naturally a creative person, you're wanting to communicate in a better way, being on platforms like Snapchat and TikTok really do exercise that muscle for you. And it's a really great way of learning how the younger generation is communicating. It's quite eye-opening. And if your brand at any level wants to reach that age demo, then it's important to, even if you're not putting the brand on there, it's important for you to be on there and understanding how that's actually happening. I'm not a huge fan of being on something and not taking action, but at this stage, if it's too overwhelming, just be on there, just consume the platform and understand it. Really, I would say with Snapchat and TikTok in particular, the strength of the platform is the age demo. So if that's your jam, get on there. Let's talk LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has gotten a lot of praise recently, and rightly so. The strength of the platform is its B2B nature. The professional world is on there. If that is your target demo, if they are your people, then that should be a platform that you strongly consider being on. The thing that I don't like about LinkedIn is it's so limited. It just carries with it so many limitations. I create videos for clients all day, every day. We're creating 15, 20-minute videos for YouTube, and I cannot repurpose them over on LinkedIn because they have a 10-minute cutoff on the platform, which is entirely frustrating. The business pages on that platform really do very, very little. I've managed multiple business pages on LinkedIn, and personal pages always do better, and I just don't see the point in investing all that time and energy into business pages anymore. If you've spent any time on the LinkedIn platform, you'll also know that it's super spammy. It's really hard to trust the connections that are being made, and the in-mail is literally just like filtering through spam constantly. That being said, they are rolling out live video. You can upload pre-produced video on the platform. You can write blogs and articles on the platform. You can put images on the platform. So it is fairly robust in that sense. If your demo is that B2B professional space, then that's really somewhere that you need to consider being. Personally, having managed hundreds of different social media platforms for different clients, I can tell you that professional B2B people are also elsewhere. But if you really want to go to the heart of the matter, then LinkedIn is the place for you. All right, moving forward, let's talk about YouTube, which is one of my favorite channels. Yes, it is. Okay, YouTube. So YouTube for me is like Instagram. It's part art and part science. And if you're a little bit crappy at the art, then you can major in the science, and vice versa, and you can have major success on the platform. One of the other things that I freaking adore about the YouTube platform is that I know for me, it's pretty much the one thing that has grown my email list. People are really good at taking action on that platform. They sit there and they watch the whole video, and they're watching the whole video because they're there to learn. They're there to actually consume the information that they came for. They're not on Facebook scrolling and accidentally come across something. They literally have typed in how to gain followers on Instagram or how to change a leaky tap. Like, they are there for a reason, and they are normally in a mindset and a place where they're able to consume at length. That is why I love the platform. So the community on YouTube is really, really good. The other thing that I would say about that platform is because it can be SEO'd so strongly, it's got such a great tie back into your website. So putting it over there on your blog and having that juice to your website, so to speak, it's just great functionality to be able to have, right? And I know that you can put Instagram feeds on your website and various things of that nature, but it's not as strong as having a YouTube video for somebody to consume on the website. So the strength of YouTube really is the ability to be able to control it at some level. The art just needs to match, right? So the controllability is being able to SEO and optimize it and really go after certain keywords and really nail keywords and become first place quite easily if you know what you're doing. Just have to make sure that the creative maps to that strong SEO side of things. You might be really good at that and not deliver on the content. You can't do that. People are gonna find you out real quick. So if you're inclined to be in front of the camera, you really enjoy that type of thing, like me, then I would say YouTube is a no-brainer. It's also a no-brainer if you have a global audience and you do any kind of education or service-based business. To me, it would probably be the #1 platform for you to be on, but you do have to know how to do both, and you can learn both. Okay, so let me talk really quickly about Twitter. Twitter for me is not a major platform. So I use Twitter for research. I use it to be sassy, where you can't be sassy on Facebook anymore because everyone gets offended. I use it to stalk people out, to find the information that I want. I use it to stay up to date with certain things, but I don't really use it necessarily as a platform for distribution as much as other platforms. And the reason for that is, one, it's not very big in Australia, and two, I find that Twitter tends to lend itself to certain industries. It does actually lend itself to my industry, and I think if I was doing a lot more on my website and pushing people back there, then I would use it more in that area. Of course, I post my YouTube videos on there and things of that nature. But also, like I said, it lends itself to certain industries. So social media, tech, the digital side of things, sports, it's very big on that. It's also got a lot of gaming, micro niches and things of that nature. But I just find in general, it's not really a platform that I recommend to people as a primary platform of doing business necessarily. There's probably marketing experts that will watch this and be like, that girl's wrong, I do all my marketing on Twitter. Good for you. The average person probably wouldn't be able to. It's very overwhelming. It's a very overwhelming platform because there's so many ways to use it and so many things that you can do on it. And frankly, especially being Australian, knowing that most events here don't even use it, they don't even tweet using a hashtag, like it's I wouldn't say it's a waste of time because I actually really love Twitter, but I just think that there are more important platforms that you could start on. So the last platform I want to talk about is Pinterest. Pinterest is a no-brainer platform if you have an e-com store because of the stats around people who pin and how likely they are then to buy that actual thing is insane. So if you sell goods, you need to be on Pinterest. If you are a service-based business as well, Pinterest is a really great place for you to be because typically you're writing blogs, you're creating videos, you've got thumbnails and that kind of thing. And it's a visual platform, again, similar to Instagram, but it's a visual platform where you can put those thumbnails, where you can put that information in a visual format and drive people back to your website. And it's a really good driver of traffic to your website as well. So I highly recommend service-based businesses and anyone who's in e-com to be on that platform as well. Okay, all of that being said, I want to say this. I did not make this video for you to become overwhelmed. I did not make this video so that you'll go, I have to be everywhere. I made this video to highlight the importance of understanding the differences and understanding where you could be based on your strengths, based on the strengths of the platform, and based on really where you would feel most comfortable. And here's the thing, I used to preach, be on one platform and do it really, really well. I don't preach that anymore. I think you need to be on at least two because then you can feed into one another. Different people are going to find you on those different platforms. So if you can be on two very different platforms, that's going to bode really well for you because you're going to have different people on those platforms. So if you're on YouTube and then you're also on Facebook, that probably is going to go well for you. Or if you're on YouTube and you're on LinkedIn, that's probably going to go really well for you. Have a think about the two most important platforms or two platforms that are comfortable for you or where you feel like you could start without getting overwhelmed. I've just tried to list the strengths to you today. I know that there's more strengths. I know that there's more weaknesses. I know that it can be terrifying when this isn't your strength. And that's why I've created this channel. I've created this channel so that you can start applying the things that I teach you to these platforms rather than feeling like, I don't know anything, I don't know where to start, help me, I don't know what to do. I've created help for you so that you can at least start taking action somewhere. You don't have to be at 200% today. You can start at 2% today, but you just need to start, right? And you just need to create consistency. If I could recommend a muscle to build before any other muscle, it would be consistency. And so there's the argument of quality and quantity, and I kind of hate that argument because it really depends on where you are in your journey. If you're just starting out or you're not yet consistent, then just put content out, build that muscle, learn to be consistent because that's going to be part of your success. It's not going to be about one piece of content that you put out that's going to pop and make you famous. There's 3 people in the world that that's happened to. but it's not going to be your story. Your story is going to be consistency and building the business content upon content, person upon person, customer upon customer, relationship on relationship. It is just like that. It's building a path to success, and it's one brick at a time. So I really hope that helped you guys. I do have resources available in the description. If you want the content strategy or the social media plan that I spoke about in previous weeks to help you plan content for any of these channels, then grab that in the description below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Let me know if this was helpful for you, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye-bye.